Here we go. 3:07. Guess what day it is? It's Friday. What does Friday mean? Strategy Room Survivor. Oh, look in the background. Here we go. Strategy Room Survivor.
Your mic's not on yet. Should we run the opening?
No. Just keep it going. All right, it's Friday. Strategy Room Survivor. Maddie, you guys are doing a great job. Everyone, Kevin, Trace, Chariton, Rob, Maddie, we're doing this. And, by the way, the Strat Brats are... Oh, we'll get them later. But check it out. Here are the rounds. We're at 16. Love the music. 16. Started with 32. Went to 16 last Friday. This Friday, these 16, Sweet 16, are going to become the Elite 8. We're going to get to that in a minute. John Rutledge and Danny are going, where the hell am I? Trace, good job with this. By the way, this game, yeah. Jordan said it's blowing up. People are emailing. We get hundreds of emails on votes. And
I know.
Good job, brother. Good job. It's having some fun. Maddie, awesome. Following up. What's going on? Yes, but of course. Oh. Wake up. Hey, dude. That's Jordan. Booking 150 hours a week. How many hours a week do you book?
200 guests a week.
200 guests a week, doing a great job. All right, let's go. Rob, what's... look at, can you get this or no? Can you get over his shoulder? Can you show him what's going on? Look at, these are the votes. These are the votes. So votes are coming in, not the food. Come on, Maddie. Maddie's hungry. By the way, when's your birthday, Matt? Matt's birthday tomorrow, you guys. Strap rats. Matt's birthday tomorrow. Send him an email. All right, here we go, dudes. Here, there's Straka. Straka's a little tanner than normal. And a little more buff. He's away. I can say that he's not coming and challenging me to any like fights or ring matches or, I don't know, arm wrestles. All right, good panel. Let me intro the panel, and then I want to get back into the strategy room stuff. Rob, when you get a chance, Rob, you come in, all right? Okay, here it is. Email us at show. The show email is strategyroom@foxnews.com. There it is on the thing right there, strategyroom@foxnews.com. You want to vote? Vote for the people. I'm going to go through everyone's name. Or stratroom@gmail.com. That's where we're getting like literally hundreds of emails for votes. Mary, you're on the list.
That was a mistake, wasn't it?
No,
Mary's
doing great.
Did somebody else drop out?
No one dropped out. All right, here we go. Look, two votes already. No, this one says, please don't spend the whole hour talking about this. I watch Strategy Room to listen to educated discussion, not hear people beg me to vote for them. All right, then you know what, Leonidas Corporation. Go back to work. Here we go. 3 votes. Mary Walters, Tom Ruskin, and the Carrot. So, hey, Rob, if you get a chance, you come in and we'll do that. To your left, Maddie's left, my right, we're going to start with Johnny Rutledge, good friend, also one of the principal architects of the Reagan Economic Plan in 1980-81, has begun, he's in current chairman of Rutledge Capital. Hey, you guys managing money, John?
It's a private equity firm for most of its activities, and I manage some equity money, too, for private accounts.
There you go. And Dr. John Rutledge, if I didn't say Dr.
Oh, and the books.
We'll get to the book in a second. We'll let Dr. Dani Babb pimp the book, PhD, MBA, and founder of the Babb Group.
DrDaniBabb.com.
Dr. Dan, DR, there it is. It's on your screen. Instead of,
there you go. That works.
Through it. What book, John? What book?
Road Warrior. Lessons from a Road Warrior is not only the story of 15 million miles of travel, but it's a way of thinking about the global economy and turning it into investment decisions, asset allocation, emerging markets, which stock sectors, and so forth. So,
all right, we're going to get to it. We're going to get to a bunch of that
investors.
stuff. There's a couple of breaking news items I want to get to in a second. You'll be great input for that. Cool. To my left, your right, Mary Walter. She's the host. She's a host on Fox News Radio and also a very popular guest here on the Strategy Room. Thanks for coming.
And I will be on tonight for Spencer Hughes, 6 to 8 p.m., and I will be on with Alan Combs for the Friday Night Free-For-All.
And where's that?
So
Where can we get that?
FoxNews.com. Just click on radio or Sirius 145 or XM 168.
All right, there you go. Mary Walter. Good job. All right, listen, a couple of breaking news items. Pirates hijacked German-owned cargo ship off the coast of Oman. That's from NATO. A staff member at NATO tells us that. And this one right here, Johnny, I want you to comment on this. Former Prime Minister Mousavi says he is definite winner claims definite winner in the Iranian presidential election. I saw that somewhere around 65% of the vote turned out. Fairly strong turnout, I guess. But what do you think? This guy's a moderate. He's claiming victory. I also did see Ahmadinejad claim victory, but
I don't want a job is his name.
I don't want to. What about if in fact Musavi does win, the more I guess call him a moderate of the Islamic fundamentalists, right? He's still a fairly hardline fundamentalist, but more moderate than Ahmadinejad.
Yeah, and Wasabi is what we call him, but he wants to talk with the rest of the world, and I don't want a job, but wants to blow up the rest of the world. There's a dispute inside Iran going on between the young people and the non-sectarian young guys, growing middle class, and the clerics. And this election mirrors part of that. So,
tell me though, oil price. Oil price $72. I think the minute the market closed was $72.05.
Yep.
On a Musavi win, a moderate Islamic win in Iran, does oil go down?
I suspect that would put it down a little bit for 5 minutes. But the risk of an Iranian oil interruption is not what's moving the oil price. It's the growth of China and the increased oil demand. Oil demand is going to increase about 50% over the next 10, 15 years, and it's going to be driven entirely by emerging markets. So China's growth is stronger than people think. That's why. So I'm long oil, I'm long copper, I'm long coal, and I'm short the long treasury.
I sold I sold my gold, I sold my silver, I sold my
Yep.
I sold just about everything I had, sold all my oil. I still have natural gas, so it's the only
Yep.
one I have left.
Yep.
But a little nervous about the commodity trade here. It could be off base, but
Well, from a trading perspective, I think that's right, because there's been such a huge run in one direction, and we don't make money every day. But the fundamentals are that Asia's growing, led by China. The credit crunch is beginning to melt through right now. People are beginning to see that the Fed's increased reserves by 900% in the last 9 months, 100% a month. And there's no way that cannot push prices up and the dollar
price
down.
of everything, right?
Of everything. That's
Okay,
it's
hold
an
that thought,
inflation
hold that thought.
story down the road.
Hey, Robert, Mr. Rob, come on in. I want you guys. I have some votes here, and I want you guys. I want all the viewers to start sending the votes in. I got a lot of votes coming in, Rob. Just do me a favor. Let's grab a couple of these while you're continuing to do
Chef's
your
doing a North Korea
thing.
story right now.
All right, here we go. Vote for Mary Walter. That's from Paul in Ohio.
Thank you,
Judy
Paul.
Miller. Vote for John Tantillo. You got it, Rob? Well, that's from Judy. Laura says Ratner must go. That's a vote for Ratner. That counts. We'll take it.
You're bad.
Glenn from Sacramento says, vote for John R. Anyone work for Reagan has my vote.
All right. That's
Sorry,
one
can't
vote.
vote. He wasn't
Can I
in
have
it. But no,
he give me his vote?
But the end of the story is that Glenn is voting. He's still voting off Ellen Ratner, so therefore she gets the vote.
Oh,
All right, you got that, Ellen Ratner? All right, Rob. My votes: the Carrot, Beckel, Tom Ruskin, and Bill Schultz. You know, this would be a good time. Can we put the thing back? Oh, here we go. Let's do this. Here we go. You got it, Maddie?
Yep.
All right, so email your votes in either to strategiroom@foxnews.com or the stratroom@gmail.com. It's Joel Mowbray or Heatha. Pick one of those two, Heatha Prabhakar. Joe Peronin or KT McFarland. Just to let you know, the number one seeds were Joel, KT, Garrett the Carrot, and Bob Beckel. So your choices here are Garrett the Carrot, Terry Keenan, Anne-Marie McAvoy, and Bob Beckel. All right, pick one of those two. Pick Garrett the Carrot or Terry Keenan. On this side, Ellen Ratner, the one seed, Tara Dowdle, Bill Schultz or John Tantillo, Tommy Ruskin or Noel Nakpour, and Mary Walter sitting here with us, or Melanie Notkin, who was on yesterday, a 3 o'clock guest. So you pick one of those two. So pick one of those, pick one of these, pick one of these, pick one of these, and let it go. We're getting a lot of votes. We're getting hundreds of votes. And by the way, you guys, these people are so into this. Am I wrong, Rob?
No, they are into
They're calling. They want updates. We can't give you updates.
I just don't want to be humiliated. That's where
You're
the
not
bar is for me.
humiliated.
I
You're getting
just don't want to be humiliated.
Bernie Buckle.
I don't have to win. It's okay.
Bernie Buckle will send one in for John Tantillo. Sandy wants to, I'm sorry, William in Port Orange wants to know how is the issue with North Korea affecting the oil market. We'll get to that in a second. We'll stay on oil. Brian and Cynthia. Mary Walter. There
Thank
it is.
you.
There's a vote.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're getting a few more
Did you
votes.
hear about what Ahmadinejad said too about the white light at the UN meeting? What the heck? Talk about a nutcase. He says that a white light came down when he was last speaking at the UN, was very close to where he was standing, and the entire audience didn't blink for 27 to 28 seconds, precisely 27 to 28, which proved that he had magical powers and would therefore be reelected, or should be reelected.
That's the first
So if
bright white
Musavi-
light that's ever happened in the United Nations.
Exactly. So if Musavi wins, it is despite the bright white light and despite dumbass turning off Facebook for all of the youth vote.
Did they shut down Facebook?
Yeah.
Shut it
Yeah.
down about a week and a
Can
half
I
before
ask
the
a
election.
question about the youth vote? And because I was just reading about this on the way in, and they were saying the same thing that you had said about how there's this discontent among the young people. But does that happen every generation there? Because it seems like every generation there's discontent among the young people. They throw out whomever the ruling party is, and then they become the establishment, and the next generation gets upset and throws them out.
Well, young people tend to behave like that. I think that's probably right. But there's really only been one throw out in our lifetimes, which
Which would be about right.
Which happened when the Ayatollah
Right,
came
now we're
in.
having the next one.
Absolutely. And, the Ayatollah had the advantage of coming after the incredible corruption of the Shah.
Right.
And so that's been gone. Now people have been watching the incredible corruption of the Ayatollahs. Most people don't know this, but the clerical leaders of Iran have bank accounts in places like Switzerland with billions of dollars. in them.
Shocking.
Yes.
The mullahs.
Yes,
Now,
absolutely.
the mullahs,
Horrible.
take us through how that worked. The mullahs came up with 3 or 4 competitors to Ahmadinejad, right? They vetted 400 and change potential candidates, right? And they came up with 3 or 4, of which Musavi was the strongest, I guess. Boy, I'd love to know if this is a win. Hey,
have to
Jordan,
get
if the
50% of
AP
the
or
votes,
one of
too.
those are calling that a win, will you let us know?
You also have to get 50% of the votes in Iran. You can't, because and there's 2 people. So if you don't get more than 50, you actually go to round 2, which is how Ahmadinejad won last time, was in the second round.
Actually, aren't there 4 people? Didn't they pick 4 people to run? And these are just the top 2
Top
votes.
two.
Top two.
The top
Yeah,
2,
yeah.
Right. There were either a total of 4 or 5. I couldn't
Right.
remember if
And
there
now
were
2.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Now, well,
But if you don't get 50%, you just
Go to round
kill
2. Next
enough
Friday,
of the
you go to
voters of
round
the
2.
other guy to get
Right,
get it
exactly.
over to the 50.
but they said there was a big turnout, though. They said
Yeah.
somewhere
Oh,
yeah.
65% of the population. What did we get? We get
Puts
like
us to
20,
shame.
what are we, 30?
30-something
More
percent
people
in the
vote
last
for
30.
American Idol than vote for the president.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
you
but
vote
the
one
singing's
once.
way better.
That's true. The entertainment value.
Actually, the policy might be better, too.
Yeah,
Those
policy would be
people.
better, and you wouldn't. And if whoever wins American Idol, you have to look at his ugly face on TV every day
And watch
giving
the
a
markets
speech.
go down when it does.
Absolutely, I'm so sick of Obama on the TV. If I don't see him again,
You know,
I'll be
they were
happy.
talking about that. Bill Maher wrote a piece.
Overexposure.
Is it over?
Absolutely.
It is
No, wait a minute, you guys
enough.
don't.
Go
Is that fair?
away.
Really?
He's like Rachel Ray. Stop it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the San
Really?
Francisco Chronicle editor
Absolutely.
even came out and said that the love affair between Obama and the media they need to get a room. I mean, when you have
Right.
him coming out and
Yeah,
saying
but
this,
wouldn't
and
you-
then
you
the
know-
news, one of the news editors at
Newsweek.
Newsweek came out.
He's
and said,
godlike.
He's godlike. Yeah, exactly. Give me a
Well,
break.
no, no, but
That's not
my
journalism.
question was, is it good or bad the fact that we have a president who's on the tube just about every day?
I think it's bad.
I think there's overload to a certain
First of
point.
all, I think it's bad for
Waters
him,
down his
and
message.
it's bad for the presidency, because the president should reserve his appearances to say things that matter for people, not every
Should they though,
every day.
or do I want to hear about the Pazar from some White House press conference?
If he gives a press conference every 5 minutes for the next 4 years, sometime there's going to come something that he wants to give a press conference about that
Nobody's gonna
matters,
come up.
and nobody's
It's gonna
going to
show.
care.
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't know.
presidency
I'm
is
not so
very
sure.
valuable.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
I
Yeah,
agree.
because
I
I'm gonna
agree.
take
You know
the other
why?
side, and I clearly am more conservative than liberal, but I want to know.
But you know what it is? We're news junkies.
Okay.
The average person out there
Okay.
isn't as much of a news junkie as we are. So when they see the president on TV, they think, wow, this is important. And then they realize, wow, it's not important. So after a while, they stop paying attention, just like you were
Yeah.
saying, because it's.
Obama clearly suffers from hubris. I mean, he believes he's
Oh,
got the
he
gift.
believes what he sells.
He's got the gift of being able to
Yep.
make people feel good,
Hold on
and
there.
he's
Hey,
doing
Robbie,
it,
Robbie.
doing it every
Very
5
on
minutes
in,
all
Rob.
day long.
Right.
Got
Very
some
true.
votes for you, pal. Sorry, you guys.
Very
It's
true.
Friday. I got to do this. I got to do this. Here we go. Mary Walter. No, I gave you that one already. Here's one from Robert Smith who says, Heather. Ready?
Heather.
You ready? Heather, KT, Garrett, Mary,
Thank you.
John Tantillo, and Noel. All right? Oops. Oh, boy. You guys are rolling in, dude. Rob, they're
It's a full-time job.
rolling in. Hold on. Gadgets guy says Tom Ruskin, Mary Walter, and Tara Dowdle.
Thank you.
Survivor, I vote for. Hey, you know what, dude? This is the person who just said don't spend the whole show on Survivor. Survivor, I vote for Beckel and KT.
Great.
By the way, we're involved in new construction, so I can go back to work. We're getting killed out here. I hear you, my friend. Actually, I think Johnny may touch on that. Maybe things may be getting a little bit better. Ellen's got to go. That's one for her. KT needs to stay, and Tommy Ruskin stay. Let me get through these, you guys. Let me get through these. Vote for Dr. John. Vote for me. You can't vote for me. Vote for Danny. Love her, but you can't vote for her either. TB. TB?
No.
TB. Tracy Byrne, I don't know. No. Tampa Bay, no. Anne Marie, yes. Tara, yes. John Tantillo, yes. And Mary Walter. There you go.
Thank you.
Ready? Rob, you staying with us? Okay.
He's
Ellen
got it.
Ratner, Ruskin, Mary Walter, KT McFarland. Can you put that chart on the Strategy Room webpage? Vote. Justice says my vote goes to Mary, Joel, KT, Anne Marie, Noel, and Tara. Got it? All right. And the vote, John Tantillo, Ellen Ratner, KT, Tom, and Joel. Can I vote for Dani Babb? I would love you to be able to vote for Dani Babb, but you can't. Mark me down for Mary Walter. All right, there we go.
I'll take it.
Real estate. Looked at a house this weekend. I'm ready.
Excellent.
I'm ready. I'm ready to make an investment. Should I? Talk me out of it.
Oh,
I
ahead.
think it's the right time
no,
to do it.
absolutely. I mean, I just did a hit this morning about exactly that and why you should be out there doing it. First of all, inventory's fantastic, so
Yeah.
you get to pick whatever the heck you want. I don't know if you're a first-time home buyer, but you get the credit.
I already own a home.
Okay, so screw the credit. Tax incentive, we're going to need it, honestly. And the prices are up. Amazing. I also think interest rates are going to go up.
I'm looking at a house that was 10, 20, 30. It's approaching a 30% discount off of its asking price a little more than a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah?
Okay.
Time? John? Yes? No?
Get off
Yeah,
the
I'd
credit.
rather have 50 than 30, but
Well, it may be 70 off its high.
absolutely. There's more stink coming because of the mortgage issues yet to come, as you've talked about. But
Jumbo problems.
the Treasury market is getting killed, and it's only a matter of time before that shows up as a big lift in the mortgage rates as well.
Do you feel? Are you on the same page? A lot of people saying that all the Obama spending and all the increase in size in government is just a time bomb ticking, waiting to explode.
You got to pay for it. Eventually, you have to pay for it, and we can only print so much money before you're taking a wheelbarrow to go buy a loaf of bread. So,
John, yeah.
Well, take it in two different parts. One is what's the effect of the government borrowing money on the interest rates? Traditionally,
so far, nothing.
So far, none is the answer, and it's because I've fought this battle for the last 35 years. It's because the balance sheet is so big. We have $200 trillion of assets here, so $1 trillion either way of almost any number, the market swallows it. The thing that's putting the rates up is the other side of that, which is the Fed. First of all, they screwed up the crisis, and then they opened up the floodgates. Since last September, bank reserves have increased 9x. And there's another 1x that's in people's pockets in $100 bills out of fear. They're going to put that back in the bank. 1,000% increase in bank reserves means down the road, if they don't reverse it, the price of a loaf of bread is going to go up from $1 to $10. This is a massive increase in the price level. They're going to try and reverse it, but the same idiots that got us in this mess are the ones that are going to be doing the reversing. So that's not going to be pretty either. But Or if you want the bottom line of this, 3 weeks ago, I was in 3-4 weeks ago, I was in China. I met with the vice premier, and he had a private meeting. He said, "What can we do to protect our $2 trillion of Treasury bills against U.S. inflation and dollar falling because of the Fed policy and the spending?" So if they're worried about it, and we're worried about it, that's why the long bond's up from 2.5 to almost 5.
We have people, mostly people claiming to be libertarian because they're tired of being a Republican or a Democrat, and they come on and say the world's about to end. All this borrowing and spending, things are really bad out there. It's just a matter of time. I'm not seeing it. I would like to, the talking points are spend more, tax more, economy falls off the face of the earth. But the thing is that it's spent.
We've only spent, what, 6% of this?
Oh, Danny,
right?
once you've appropriated, you've spent it, haven't you, John? I mean, there's no way.
But not in terms of its impact on anything in the economy.
But anything real.
But I mean, the world seldom ends. So that's not a fruitful direction for people to talk. The fact is, we've been in 2 years now in a complete freeze-up of the bond market. That's caused the credit crunch. The credit crunch has caused prices to fall well below the value of their cash flows. And this tsunami of money from the Fed has cracked through that credit crunch. So the credit market is healing right now. The bond market is healing right now in terms of its liquidity. But the wave of money is showing up now in the bond prices. When I entered the economics business, I was 20-some years old working in the White House. The inflation rate was 15, the commercial paper rate was 22, and the Dow Jones average was 860. So the way to kill a stock market is to push inflation and interest rates up, because that diverts people's money away from stocks and bonds into hard assets.
Where's the inflation? I don't see any inflation.
We're like Joan of Arc, tied to the stake, on fire, and the Fed comes along and throws a bucket of water on you. You say thanks. And they throw another bucket, and you say thanks. And they throw another bucket. 5,000 buckets later, you're going to drown. We are today just putting out the deflation and the credit crunch that's already happened. But they've already put this money on the street. It is already out there on the balance sheets of the banks. It is going to turn into deposits, loans, not now, but in a year or so, and rising price level. And politically, it's going to trigger the Fed trying to soak it back up, which could be a real disaster because they don't know how to do that in an elegant way.
We also have about, in the next, 2010, 2011 is actually going to be the largest amount of loans resetting. The adjustable mortgages, most of them are going to reset in 2010, 2011. People don't realize that. That's billions of dollars of new mortgages resetting, up to 40%.
Especially the big ones, huh?
Fourth quarter of 2008 was the largest.
It's been the largest so far.
Okay.
2010, 2011 is when the 5-year interest-only or pay option arms will reset. It could potentially be hundreds of billions of dollars of loans, with over 1 million foreclosures in the first quarter of 2010 alone, if the current default rate continues out. So we have to. There's nothing that's going to stop this ahead of time. We've got $750 billion in pay option arms that are about to reset.
I got to tell you guys, it's not a very popular opinion or place to be in this building, but and I'm certainly not saying that the administration did everything right by borrowing and appropriating and spending and bailing and tarping, and I'm simply saying that it was an 18-month recession, and it looks like we're coming out of it. We would have come out with McCain. We would have come out with Obama.
Absolutely.
Natural course.
Absolutely.
But, I was in the mall yesterday, and there were fantastic sales, 75% off this, that. People were spending like there was no tomorrow, and I was like, has anybody told these people there's a recession?
0.5% increase in retail sales, I think.
Yeah, there's a little lift from the consumer.
Yeah, and hopefully
they're great
job
sales,
expenses
though.
down
I mean, there
a
were
little bit.
things 75% off, and you're like, I wasn't going to buy it, but it's like $5, so I'm going to buy it.
You can measure that actually every week. There's a number that comes out of the Board of Governors that measures the currency in the hands of the public, the amount of $100 bills. Since last summer, when people got spooked about bank failures,
that M1?
people took, no, it's just $100 bills, not deposits. Last summer, people got scared when Lehman failed and the money market fund broke $1 and so forth. And they, since then, have taken $90 billion in currency in their pockets or in the coffee cans.
They've also lost $1.3 trillion in wealth.
At the time they started doing that, the bank reserves for the whole country were $85 billion. So this is more than the total reserves of the banking system. And it's an unnatural act for people to do that. If they ever get unafraid, as Mary's talking about, they spend some of it, they put it back in the bank. Bank reserves today are already 900% of what they were last summer. And there's another 100% in those $100 bills. That's coming back in the banks too. Now you've got a bank balance sheet that's 10 times the size it was before.
Those sound like good things.
Those are good things for bringing demand back. Those are bad things for eventually bringing inflation and rising rates. And that's what has brought the long bond yield up to 465 or
You were
whatever
talking about
it is today.
construction. We're doing the world's longest construction project on our house. It's just stupid. It'll never end. And I had a guy we wanted to put in our security and sound system. He's too busy. He turned us down. We got rid of our plumbers because they raised their rates. They got too expensive because they had too much work. So I got a new guy who was supposed to be there Wednesday and still hasn't shown up. So I'm thinking everything's supposed to be bad. Everybody's supposed to be begging for work. And I got guys tell me, yeah, I'm really too busy.
Well,
Inflation.
part of that is a lot of people have left the markets because they weren't able to survive.
Kyle
So now you've got less of them.
Thomas, inflation is defined as an expansion of the money supply. The Eric, inflation occurs when the money supply expands. Price increases are just the result of the inflation.
That's a very astute man. The word inflation was invented to describe the increase in the money supply itself, not its impact
Inflating
on the
the money
price
supply.
level. Yeah, because way back when, they printed gold coins, and the princes used to bring in the gold coins and shave the edges off. They called it sweating the currency.
Yeah.
They take the shavings, melt it down, and make more coins. And so inflating the money supply happened that way, and when we had paper money. But he's absolutely right. There is, and as far as I understand, there is no example in the history of the world where the money supply is increased by tenfold without the price level increasing by roughly tenfold. You go back to the Code of Hammurabi.
I'm just thinking, and you know, if you're talking about all this increase in money supply going into the mattress, I'm thinking the Fed may reverse the process and not cause inflation, because all you're going to do is pull money supply out, and the mattress money comes out in the form of spending.
There's two pieces of money. The amount when the Fed puts money into the marketplace, it's either held by a bank or it can be held by people who can take money out of the bank and hold it as currency if they want. Monetary base is reserves plus currency. That's the number that includes both of them. Currency's increased by $90 billion since last summer, which is roughly the size of the total reserves when that started. Reserves have increased from $85 billion to $1 trillion.
Yeah.
So if those are the two things together that will determine the size of the money supply. So yes, the same guys who put that in there can take it out if they want to.
Hear about this. What about this? What about taking when banks pay back TARP and TALF and whatever
The government lets
investment? No, but they are. They're $68 billion coming in next week, right? And rather than just keeping it in the Treasury, they retire the debt, thereby removing it from the money supply.
Well, the size of the bank reserves are the fuel that makes the money supply. Bank reserves, the Fed can control exactly through their own operation.
I'm saying these $700 billion TARPs that's sitting in banks right now on the balance sheet of banks, right?
Right.
When they give that back to the government, let's just say they give it back to the Treasury, they get their shares back, they get their warrants back, whatever they sold them. Instead of keeping that money available to government, retiring it in the retired debt, won't that shrink? Won't that bring back down your tenfold expansion?
No. The act of banks paying money to the Treasury is the banks will pay what would be reserve money. The Treasury then deposits that in their bank account. Right. So it's right back in the banks. The only thing that will affect the total size of reserves is if the Federal Reserve actually sucks reserves out of the market by selling Treasury bills, or for which you pay with reserves, or by shrinking the amount of discount loans available in the market. They can do either one of those things any day.
Or buying back some of the debt that China's holding, or whoever's holding our debt.
Can they take the money repaid from TARP to buy back any of that debt?
That's what I'm saying.
If the banks pay it back?
No. If you have a bathtub and you want to empty it, it doesn't matter which part of the bathtub you put the siphon in. I mean, the Treasury bill sold in New York and the Treasury bill sold in Beijing had the same price.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the way we paid for TARP, TALF, and et cetera is by selling debt to foreign countries, correct? Well, we had to come up with the money somehow.
We didn't really
Look.
have all the money.
Yeah, the metaphor.
was just printed, literally.
Metaphor doesn't work.
Well, tell me where the money came from that we gave to the
Let's take as an
$40 billion
example.
we
Let's
gave
take
to
it as an
XYZ.
example. The weekend we had the AIG event.
Yeah.
The Fed creates a new account that allows AIG to open up essentially a discount loan. So the Fed loans money into that. That means the Fed's balance sheet grows by that. They put that in the hands of the banks. That in and of itself increases reserves. But until last September, middle of September, every time they did that, they simultaneously sucked reserves out of the market to keep total reserves flat because they were worried about inflation until last September. Reserve growth, the 12 months up to September, was 1%. That's why every time they brought a new borrower into the market, they took money away from a bank, and we had this string of bank failures and money market funds. That led them to freak out in September when the place really started collapsing. The freak out is the 1,000% increase in reserves.
Let me read this,
That
Johnny.
is the problem today, is this tsunami of money.
Let me read this from Tehran, Iran. It says Iran state news agencies reporting that President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad has re-won election.
Oh, shocking.
that
But a
called
reformist rival is also claiming victory. You know, this is scary.
That's win-win.
This is scary. Mousavi,
But I'm
who's
bummed.
the reformist rival, said
McCain really won, too.
he was definitely the winner. What about a civil war in Iran? Is
Absolutely.
that bad or
There'll
good?
be an uprising.
Well, look, this
revolt.
beats the way they did it in Pakistan, where Madam Bhutto was winning and
Yeah.
the government
Right.
killed her.
Right.
The government
Right.
killed her.
Right.
Do me a favor, you guys. Hey, Rob, can we do this again?
One
I
way
got
to
like
handle it.
hundreds of emails coming in here. I just want to do this. You know what?
Musavi
Let's
says
close
he
off. Let's close off the
definitely
voting
the
in a
winner based
minute.
on
Is that
all
right?
indications
3:40
of the winner.
Eastern time. You have a minute and 31 seconds to do it. Get it in. Otherwise, we're gonna shut it down from there. All right,
Go on
Rob? Is that all
forever.
right? Rob, you freaked out? Nope. All right, good. Votes. All right, here we go.
Calm, cool, and collected.
Etha, KT, Terry, Anne Marie, John Tantillo, Tommy Ruskin, and Melanie. Got them? Let me know. Ready?
Hold on, I'm going to use this
No
You
worry.
need something to read on.
as a background.
Why don't you sit here? Come sit with us.
Come here.
Come sit with us.
Tabulate on set.
Yeah.
Come sit with me.
I can't let them see the numbers.
This is like
I
the
won't
guy
look.
from
I promise
Arthur.
I won't
This is like
look.
the guy
It's
from
okay.
Arthur Anderson who brings out the. Oh no! Wait, they went broke.
We have to put it in an envelope.
Ryan
I won't look.
Seacrest. All right, here we go. Ready?
You should have
Pterodactyl.
Ahmadinejad's face over there.
Not Ellen, so there's Ellen. So you can't do that. I'm going to not give a vote there at all. It's Pterodactyl, not Ellen. We know that a not Ellen is an Ellen. So no vote there. All right, Bill Schultz.
No, that isn't that a short? Wouldn't that be like?
A short is a long in this game. All right, Tom Ruskin, Melanie, and
I
Heatha.
love him. I love
Garrett the
that.
Carrot,
That may be pretty funny.
Ready?
Carrot one over here.
Beckel. All right? John is smart. I vote for him even though he's not a survivor.
Yay for you!
Shiver down my spine. Little off topic. What's wrong? What's wrong with you? What's wrong? Couldn't believe when I heard the other day that 16 czars. I think we're up to close to 20 czars. Pay czar. How about this one? A faith czar. They'll tell you.
No.
I swear to God, there's a faith czar.
No, we're gonna have a
I wanna be
clunker
a
czar
czar.
after they bring in
Right.
the new auto legislation.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Joel Mowbray,
Lemons are.
KT, Anne Marie, Bill Schultz, Ruskin, and Mary. Love the ADDR. Thank you for that. Cool cars. Nope. Doug Millette says voting online. We vote from. I'm not sure what you mean. Okay, so hold on there, babe. Hold on there. Voting is
Voting's
closed. Voting is closed now,
closed.
so we'll get through these.
All right.
How does a vote for against Ellen turn to a vote for Ellen? That was a little trick I threw in there, Glenn, because after all,
You make the
a
rules.
negative vote. I made the rules,
Right.
and a negative vote just tells us you care about her, and even though she needs to.
What? It's a
know that.
passion.
All right,
Is
I
it,
heard I
Ron?
vote for Dana. You mean Dani Babb? Someone helps people for free.
I
Needs a
own
vote.
I own calls or
you.
I own puts on the long treasuries. That mean I care about the treasury. I care about
no,
the
but in the media,
bond.
John, as you well know, is on your weekend show. If people are emailing and saying, "I hate John Rutledge," that
Yeah.
means they're going to really make sure you're on next week.
Oh, I
too.
see. I see.
If you get the blood moving.
That
need a
explains
villain.
a lot of your guests, actually.
need a
Obama
villain.
doesn't make me feel good. He scares me. WTF?
Pretty
What
much.
the F? Why are American people up in arms about 16 czars and they have all this power to answer except POTUS? Not sure what you mean. All right. What
Well, they don't
happens?
answer to anybody except they don't answer to anybody.
Ruskin, KT, and Schultz. Almost through, you guys. Almost through. KT, here. KT, and KT. That only counts for one. All right.
But
Kelly,
he had to read it.
Kelly says, here are my votes. Ellen, man that kills me, but it's her and Tara and the lesser of two evils. Bill Schultz, Tom Ruskin, Melanie, Joel. You got these? Am I going too fast? KT, Garrett, and Anne Marie. Ready?
That's 2 votes for Garrett.
Obama is like the space program, overexposure, and then everyone loses interest. Danny would be the first write-in candidate on Survivor.
There you go.
Thank you.
Sorry, we're getting there. Ellen is using Acorn to get her votes out. Very funny. That was from Bruce Wilson. Monica says Tantillo. That's it. Ludwig says Obama on TV. Can't do that right now.
342.
Yeah, we closed it.
Yeah.
Closed it up, Maddie. Vote for Danny again. Here we go. I want to hear about czars from Congress voting. Schultz, Heatha, Mary, Tom Ruskin, anyone but Ellen.
It's a vote for
It's a
Ellen.
vote for Ellen. There you go. We have a Mary.
I gotta figure out how to do
Another
that.
Mary. You get
Thank
it?
you.
Am
Am I getting the sympathy vote? You think?
No, I think you're getting the people like your attitude, your point of view.
thank you.
Survivor
to all the
votes.
girls.
I vote to Tara, KT. Poor John and Danny. Melanie, Tom.
They're
and
twittering
John,
away. They're all
John
right.
Rutledge, the guy's on now,
There's some brilliant viewers today out there.
and Danny Babb.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Sorry, I can't get Danny and John in there. Maybe next round, maybe next game. We'll have another game because the viewers respond. Ruskin, Walter, the Carrot, and Beckel.
Ooh.
There you go.
2 votes for the Garrett.
I think it's pretty bad when a carrot beats a
Oh, you're
person.
doing two.
The
one for
Carrot's
me,
gonna win.
One for you, 2 for me.
The Carrot's gonna win. That's my
Dave
prediction.
Gibson, I Heart the Strategy Room. I love you too. I vote for. I didn't catch his name, but this guy knows what's up. I'd vote for him if he were on the island. He needs to come on your show more often when he's not texting someone. Economic disaster.
I'm texting the guy who just wrote in.
There you go.
Was that you?
Thanks,
Yeah.
Dad.
Good job.
Right.
Dowdle, Beckel, and Groover. Groover's out, you guys. Sorry, Ray. Groover lost in the tough one. She was tied.
Oh,
I can't remember
wow.
who she was tied with. You remember? She was tied with someone, and then on the show, someone beat her. On the show. All right, you ready? Ready, Rob?
Yes. Oh, Rob.
Ruskin, Ratner, Mary Walter, Anne Marie, Schultz, KT, and Joel. Almost through. Anne Marie, got it? No votes. Writing for Danny Babb and John Rutledge. You guys are getting a lot of votes.
Yeah.
Melanie,
$100 a vote. That's a bargain at that price.
Tom Ruskin.
Didn't cost you anything,
Ready?
did it?
Ruskin, Ratner, Schultz, Walter, the Carrot. Up to 21. Brian and Cynthia. Cynthia says we're up to 21 czars now.
I want to be a czar.
All right, not votes.
Do you get a scepter or like a
Dang it,
crown?
Eric.
or
Here's this guy's
anything?
going to give me
Good
crap.
question.
I want one.
I care so much about
Like
Ratner
a
and
Super
Beckel. I
Bowl
refuse
ring.
to watch when they're
A
on.
czar
Yes,
ring.
even when you host. Beckel and Ratner, votes.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
so wrong.
Was regarding the election American Idol comparison. Here, it says, dang it, Eric, I was talking about how America would vote more for President Congress if the voting were online. Oh, I see. This is regarding your Iran election and American Idol comparison. Sheesh. Also, KT gets my vote. All right, that's it, you guys. That's it from the show. Sorry, we closed it out. Rob, if you want to go check what we got left in Gmail, let us know where we're at, and we're going to announce them in about 15 minutes.
When he
or so.
got this internship, this is what he dreamed of, by the way.
Yeah.
Can I be perfectly honest with you? Can I be perfectly honest with you? Wait a minute,
Absolutely.
before
No,
we get
lie
this
to me,
past
please.
that. This little thing right here has incited so much email
I know.
interest. I mean, usually you get maybe 50 to 100 emails during a show. We're getting double, triple that on the show. We're getting probably
great.
4 times that on the Gmail account. It's fun. It's good
Very
stuff.
Well, that's one of the reasons that people use polls online on their own website to keep people interested, because you want to go back and click on see results. I mean, it's kind of a similar
Babb,
thing, but
108 million votes for American Idol winner.
Yep.
108 million.
Maybe we
That's
should
a fucking
start
shot.
allowing 12-year-old
Think about
girls
that.
to vote for president. Then
Well, we
we'd
should
have more
allow-
people voting.
Well, we should
yeah.
look
Well,
at
how many of them
John,
are duplicates
That's
too?
what I'm- yeah. but
is-
that's the
how about this?
They even have Autobots.
AT&T takes, I think, half of that.
Wow.
I think Fox and AT&T split the revenue
That's a
on
lot.
that. That's got to be a huge boost.
Absolutely.
Maybe my husband's stock price will go up.
AT&T
And tax revenues, too, you get from it, right?
and tax revenues.
Wireless service is taxed at a higher rate than alcohol and tobacco in most of America,
Did you hear the new bill?
including
Yes,
Los Angeles.
With the,
New
with the
bill?
phones,
Yes.
with the phones, if you get it through your business,
Through your
Yep,
company.
through
if
your company.
provides your
a
phone.
quarter. They're going to charge. They assume that a quarter of your cell phone calls are personal, not business. So they're going to tax you on the value of that quarter.
Maddie
Oh,
just pulled his phone out of his pocket. He's like, forget
Compensation.
Yeah. So if you call home to say I'm going to be late for dinner because I'm stuck at work, that's personal, and so that's why they're going to tax you as a benefit. It's a benefit that you're getting by getting that cell phone. So now it's going to be reported as income and taxed.
John, what
If that's the
an
case,
old-
then the company, and the company, of course, is already writing the whole thing off, so they pick up net cash out of the deal. So
That-
That's
the
actually,
company, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
actually an old plan on something that used to happen. Well, it still happens actually, which are those retreats, you know, that the high salespeople go
Yes,
to,
yeah.
President's Club
The trust
things,
building,
and
yeah.
they were taxing. You know, my husband works for AT&T; he's a sales engineer, and they were taxing that on him. He'd get a 1099 at the end of the year for the cost of that trip.
What don't seriously? And you guys would know this. What don't they tax? Is there anything that is not taxed?
Let me ask you this.
inhaling and exhaling are the only two
now.
things left.
For now.
Carbon
Very
tax.
serious.
Carbon tax,
What's
pretty
not
simple.
taxed?
Cap and trade. I wonder if they're going to. You release carbon dioxide, right, when you exhale.
But we have
Yeah,
plans.
and
So I should stop working out.
And in other ways.
Here's
If we have
an
a
issue,
plan,
though.
does that offset my
Well,
footprint?
here's an issue. I want to talk about this. We're going to talk a little bit later about this. California is now talking about cutting back welfare because their budget deficit. Smart, maybe the way to go.
California is completely fiscally bankrupt, out of control. The taxes have gone up sky high. In California, you pay an additional income tax as a percentage of your income on an S corp that you file on top of the personal rate you pay from the income through the S corp.
And now
So
they
they're doing
double.
everything possible to drive businesses out of California, which means the welfare recipients are the only guys left.
Well, that's the same problem in New Jersey. In a lot of states, the taxes are so crazy. The people who kind of get stuck in the middle move. They all go to Pennsylvania from New
Sure,
Jersey with
sure.
their families. They go to Pennsylvania. They live there. And then you have people who make no money, who pay no taxes, and the super wealthy are the only
Where
people
the
left.
California
You can't
people
sustain it.
Where
You
they
can't
go.
sustain
Arizona,
They're going
a
to
lot.
Arizona and
Montana.
also, but Nevada. You know,
Nevada.
3-hour drive from Los Angeles, the
Texas.
income tax rate drops from, for an S corp guy, roughly 12.5% to zero.
Yeah.
There
And
there's
then-
a lot of big
There's no
companies.
income
There's no income tax in Nevada. There's 6 states with no income tax, and Texas, Washington, New Hampshire, Tennessee, Florida.
Nevada.
Florida has an asset
Texas,
tax.
Tennessee, Florida.
Texas,
Right.
Tennessee.
New Hampshire,
I wonder if
Washington
they're
State.
dropping that asset tax as your value of your assets drop. Do you know?
They never
Is it
good,
adjusted?
good,
Say again, Danny,
good
please.
question.
Well, I'm wondering if the asset tax in states that have it is adjusted based on the value of the asset.
Well, that's really in Florida to capture the snowbirds coming down from New York.
Right.
Now, let me ask you a question about that, because I know one thing in New Jersey is they're reevaluating everyone's home values, and I have friends whose taxes quadrupled.
Yeah.
I know there's a town there, and their tax base went up 488%, but yet the value of your home is less because of the market.
Right.
So how do your taxes go up 4 times or 400 and some odd %? How does that happen if the
That's-
value
It's
of your
the
home's
new
going down?
math.
That's our.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
No,
my
what
question.
happens is when you buy a home
Okay.
in most states or most counties, what happens is the expected appreciation over a period, whether it's 20 years or 30 years, depending upon the state or the county, is already projected out. So your increase in taxes is pretty much a known thing in most areas. What you have to do is file an appeal. We did a Fox and Friends hit on this, remember? about 2 months ago. What you have to do is file an appeal with your county. If they won't talk to you, you have to literally go down there and talk to them in person, show them an appraisal,
And
show
your-
them that it's worth less.
and your Democratic-
And most of the time you do win, which
here's-
is a good
here's-
Membership
Well, they're all
card.
suing. Excuse me,
Right.
they're suing
Right.
because they got another appraisal, and the appraisal
Yeah,
agreed with
yeah.
it, but they added on a water view
Right.
tax,
Or
water
whatever, or
access
you guys
tax.
can
It's,
address
it's
this,
crazy.
but
Yeah,
here's
absolutely.
what happened in my
And it's
town.
going to send more
Absolutely.
people into foreclosure.
We
Right the
would
hell.
drop
But they're rich. It's okay.
Right.
Interesting story. They dropped our the whole town was reassessed. Our assessment
Right, they
went
do it,
down
yeah.
by 25%.
Wow.
It's happening
Okay.
a lot. Yeah.
But the rates are going to go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
It won't matter.
they still want the money.
It's a lot.
Right.
They drop the price and
Yeah.
increase
And
the
some
rates.
states are actually going to start allowing you to write that off on your taxes, state income tax, which is going to be a new thing. So that'll be good.
All right, hey Rob, how are we doing with that? Are we close?
We got some breaking news.
He's got the abacus
All right, got some
going
breaking
really
news,
fast.
Breaking news.
Crossing the wires.
Okay, Iran's Electoral Commission chief. I guess assume this is
Maybe he's a
official.
czar.
You think
I
it
would
sounds-
assume,
is
yeah,
a
it's not a czar, so I don't know.
It says President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad has 69% of the vote after 5.5 million votes counted.
Ooh.
But didn't they? How many votes?
How in the world?
Come on, how many people
What's the
believe
How in
that?
the
Right.
world does the other guy claim a victory, and now they're saying almost 70% of the vote is
Well,
the
what's the sample? I mean, how many have they
It's,
actually
Mel
counted
Brooks.
so far?
Mel Brooks said once in a movie, "It's good to be king."
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Oh
How,
my
how many
goodness.
Kinda
votes
like you
were
making
there?
up the rules for
There's
strategy
5.5
room as you
million
go
counted. How
along.
many votes were there?
You know
45
exactly how he
million
feels.
eligible
He
voters.
paid for this gig. I think he gets paid handsomely for that.
Yep.
What do you guys think? Give us an email what you think about Ahmadinejad or Mousavi
I believe
as
it.
the ruler of Iran. What effect that'll have?
Can we do an over-under as to when the riots start?
Boy, do you think so? You
Yeah,
think
yeah.
riots?
Anybody by 6 tonight? What do you think?
Maybe by the end of the
Writing
weekend.
now. Anyone? Does News Channel have this? Maddie, does News Channel have this? A commercial right now. See what they have when they come back.
Absolutely, it's going to start, especially if it's the young people who
The
are
young
upset.
people?
They're the ones who are
think they're
going
too afraid to start.
That's a
No,
good,
I don't think they
can I tell
are.
you something?
I don't
That's
think
a
they
good
are.
Point. That's a good point. They have. What do they call? They have. What kind of police?
They have the-
not thought police, but like attitude police
Right.
that running around there.
Right.
If you are,
Yeah,
if you're
attitude towards the government.
causing trouble, you
Right.
can go to
Oh, what are
jail.
they
Danny
called?
could be
Yeah.
right. Right? There's a group of
it's gonna make me
enforcers
crazy.
that are basically
Yes,
keeping
they're like
keeping the
religious
order on the
people who go
streets.
around and like if there's a woman who has her ankle showing, they beat her, that kind of thing.
They want to know how to follow you guys, Dr. Dani Babb and Dr. John Rutledge. Twitter, I'm assuming, still, right? Yeah.
Yep, twitter.com/Dani Babb.
And John Rutledge on Twitter is the other one, and RutledgeCapital.com is the website where all the articles and book and
Killer blogs.
all sorts of stuff, and a blog there. The blog's free. Put your email address in, and I write about this stuff all the time. And Danny, website,
TheBabbGroup.com.
right?
Robert, bring it in, bro.
You have.
Over and under on when the beatings begin at around 14 hours from now.
Very-
Curtis.
okay, 14.
Curtis is one of our staff. Curtis, is he on today?
Curtis
I don't
is-
see- Yeah, there's Curtis.
All right.
Curtis is right there.
He's with me on this one.
There's Sarah. Yeah, there's Curtis. There's Curtis. You
And there's
flipped him.
John, right? Is that John?
John. Oh, you put Curtis. Curtis says 14 hours before the riots begin. I'm guessing a little sooner than that. Mary said 6
6 p.m. tonight, yeah.
Is that Eastern or local or Indian time?
I have to go. I can't
time does it get
calculate
dark
that. I don't know. I can't calculate that. Yeah, there'll be a candlelight thing. We'll all
Ayatollah
get together in a
daylight
square. There'll be a lot of
savings.
candles, and then the rioting will start.
Hey, Bowling,
Yeah.
we all know the Iranian electoral process is nothing more than a kabuki theater. Harris, who wins, man? Harris, who wins? Where are you, Johnny? You're right there. John, give me one hand if it's the incumbent Ahmadinejad, or give me two hands if it's Mousavi.
He gave you one finger, Eric. What does that mean?
That's his
He gave me
star
a
Oh, I
Trek.
see, I see.
He's a big
The star.
Trekkie. John's
Yeah.
big.
Is he a
Yo, he's a
Trekkie?
huge Trekkie.
All right. Here,
Love you, John.
Sandy says, I think both candidates in Iran will end up with 60.
They both.
Yeah,
Both end
each-
up with
They both-
65%.
I like it. I like it.
Good
Who
job,
said
Sandy.
that?
like it.
Who's that?
Said Sandy. And,
Oh, that is
Florida.
very good. That's very good.
Ladies who made your dresses. That's
Neither of
Babette.
us is wearing dresses.
Actually, jeans and a tank top.
it's
There you
Friday.
Friday.
Right.
How much? Robert!
Capris.
Trying to get the final, the vote. Trying to get
Walmart
the final,
made mine.
Sweet 16
Discount
down to
and
final
season.
8.
Yeah, this is
Last year.
a sweatshop in Cambodia.
There he goes. He's going to pick up.
And you are
The-
not too proud.
The elimination will be in Robert's hands.
Does
Why are you
why are we looking
focusing
at
on
his
his
butt? Thank you.
Matt,
It's not a bad butt to look at, but
I know you're getting married soon, Matt, but
He's an intern. You got to be careful. There might be an
yeah.
age thing with that. You know, it could be like
That
the
could be.
Letterman Bristol Palin
Not under
thing.
18, right?
what was the actual comment? I've seen the Letterman apology, but what was the actual
It wasn't an
comment?
apology.
Well, I
he
saw
said
when
something
he-
about her hooking up with A-Rod, but the problem is Palin was at the ball game with her 14-year-old daughter. And he goes, oh, no, but I meant the 18-year-old. I'm like, well, that's so much better.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's do this together, right?
Drum roll.
Let's do this. Can we put it back up? Can we put the brackets back up, you guys?
Drum roll, please.
All right.
Coyote. Come on,
All
dance,
right,
Eric,
let's keep
dance.
them in. Let's keep them. Can we start down here? Let's start with Beckel and Anne-Marie McAvoy. Let me just preempt this with these two go at it big time when they're on the show together. They're one. Beckel's a liberal Democrat, and Anne-Marie's very conservative from the right. Awesome. Who wins this one?
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie! Congratulations,
I'm
Anne-Marie
surprised.
McAvoy.
I'm
And I can't wait to get these two back on. Beckel gets heated up.
He gets very heated.
Garrett the Carrot, Terry Keenan.
Garrett the Carrot.
And I'm guessing, not good, I love Terry. Good friend of mine. Garrett is a crowd favorite. Yeah? Did well? Big numbers?
Yeah.
Big win? All right, let's go. This is going to be a walk. Walk in the park. KT and Joe Peronin.
Landslide.
KT.
Don't use words like that. Poor Joe.
Crush. Trounce. Beaten.
All right,
if
Matt.
your
He slapped.
self-esteem is tied up in this, I think you have problems.
Here's an interesting one. This is going to be very
that's a good
close. I'm guessing this was close.
Close.
I say Heatha.
Yeah, you're right. I think he does.
Correct.
Yes,
He's the
Heatha.
Robert
Heatha.
the number one seed.
Joe. Woo.
Goodbye. Off the stretch for Survivor.
Please don't use
Here
the
we
word
go.
landslide or trounce.
Here we go. Mary Walter, Melanie Nogin.
Very close. And the winner is Mary.
Mary Walter.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Mary Walter.
With 65% of the vote.
Prom. Thank you. This makes up for the
Now you
whole
get
prom thing back in high school.
John points out that there was
65% of the vote. Right.
Thank you.
You and I don't want a job. Got
Okay,
the same
Tommy Ruskin
number.
and Noel Nickpour.
Tom, I think he had like
In
a
a lands-
grassroots campaign or something.
In a landslide?
He's
Not
working
a
it.
landslide,
Okay.
but he had some
Really? Okay.
big numbers coming in.
Okay.
All automated.
Interesting.
All from the same
Very
IP
interesting. Bill
address.
Schultz, John Tantillo.
This is the tightest margin we had.
How many separated?
2 votes.
2 votes separate the winner and loser. And the winner is?
Bill Schultz.
Well, Schultz. Tantillo.
Wow.
Schultze. Attaboy, Schultze, my red eye pal. All right, Tara Dahl, Ellen Ratner. I guess this is a war.
Tara had some late rallying,
Yeah.
but the hate for Ellen knows no limits.
She trounced her?
Yeah.
Trounced
use
her.
that
All right, now I need the trounce. Who's the top vote getter? Do we know?
Ellen.
Vote
That's what they're
getter.
talking
She's
about.
off.
She is
just-
KT
she's on.
McFarland.
She's on.
That's because when people write in to
Followed
say
by-
they hate her, they
put
count it
her
as a
out.
vote.
That would be.
They
yeah.
count it as a vote.
Exactly.
Tommy Ruskin, and is there a third?
Do we
the
really
top
need to
three?
rank it in order of
That's deeply
popularity,
wrong.
people?
Anne-Marie, third.
Anne-Marie.
Ahead of Ellen's hateful.
Head of Ellen.
Okay, great.
You don't
Awesome
need to
job,
rank
Rob.
it in terms of
So can
popularity.
I, let me just read these again real quick. You guys, good job, brother. All right, so we have the Elite 8. We went from Sweet 16 to Elite 8, and they are Ellen Ratner, Bill Schultz, Tom Ruskin, Mary Walter, Heatha Probacher, KT McFarland, Garrett the Carrot, and Anne-Marie McAvoy.
Tom and Bill.
Beckel is out.
Tom and Bill are the only two guys
Beckel
left.
is going to spend the rest
Yeah,
of
we
the
need
year
to
on the
write
golf
it.
course.
We'll run our
We'll
own
post all
vote.
that stuff for you. Thank you very much. Thanks to Strat Brats.
Yay,
We're about 10
Strat
seconds
Brats.
away. Dr. John Rutledge, Dr. Dani Babb, 2 great friends of mine, 2 really, really smart minds in everything investing. Good friends, and thank you again. I'd love to make this a regular thing. Mary Walter,
Thank you.
congratulations
Thank you
on a
so
win.
much.
Staying on the Survivor Island, we're down to 8.
Thank you.
Yeah, Danny and I want to thank all of you for not having us on
I just see
the
this?
even on the menu.
So
So
you know-
thank you, the ones who wrote in to vote for us today. The rest of you go screw yourselves. Right?
And Ellen Ratner, she and I and
Right.
I have to mud wrestle if she makes it to the top 4 because I will.
Here
People
you
won't pay
go.
for that.
That's the next game.
Don't give them ideas.
Strategy room mud wrestling
Right.
game.
Right
No,
around the floor, baby.
bit slapping.
So
Don't
contest.
give them
That's
ideas.
what we
That
need.
too.
Right.
From here, we're going to have
Right.
Maddie.
Ellen.
We're going to have Ellen Ratner
That
going up
stupid
against
Obama
Bill
thing.
Schultz.
Right.
We're going to have Tom Ruskin going against
no.
Mary Walter.
I love Tom.
All right?
You're going to
On
have
his
to put
side,
him down.
I can lose to Tom.
You're going to have to put him
Keitha
down.
Going against KT. Oh. Garrett the Carrot is going
Against
to have
Anne-Marie.
a tough time with Anne-Marie McAvoy.
Wow.
It's going to be interesting, you
There's
guys.
riots in D.C.
It's going to be interesting.
The wrath of
Can
Beckel.
we email Beckel, tell him he lost?
Yeah.
That's good. All right, you guys, thanks a lot. 401, we're closing. We're dark now. We'll see you all Monday morning. Good job. Good job.